Okay, we're beginning day 4. It's 9 a.m. On our way to pick up our rental car. We're traveling up north. First stop will be in Nazareth. On the train to get the rental car. Here we are, we're in Nazareth. Traveled from Bethlehem yesterday, like Jesus and Joseph and Mary went from Bethlehem to Egypt and then back home to Nazareth. We're at Nazareth Village waiting for a tour to start here in a few minutes. So we're waiting in the lobby, and here's an interesting picture depicting Joseph and young Jesus in the carpenter shop. And Blanche all decked out in her cap again. We're ready for the tour, which I'll be recording here very shortly. A few other interesting murals on the wall here in the waiting room. Shepherd and the sheep. I think it's a depiction of Mary doing domestic duties. Not sure what to expect here today. It's about 105 degrees outside. And I think this village tour is outdoors. We're in the air conditioning waiting room right now.
Not these kids. Not these kids. Not these kids. Okay, our first station. By the way, I just missed to say something. You will meet villagers dressed in costumes like people use at Jesus' time. You are free to take pictures of them or with them. Okay, just feel free to take pictures. Okay, as you see around us, we have many. What kind of trees you see around you? Olive trees. Okay, most of these trees we transplanted from other places. Very few of them were here in the land of this place. Actually, all the 40 dunams, about 10 acres, the whole village, it was a farm of Nazareth at Jesus' time. Okay, some of the things here are authentic from that time. As I said about the olives, most of them were transplanted from other places. Very few were here. The season of picking olives is by the end of October until the whole month of November. Picking olives is usually done, you see, this is the new season for the production of next season. All things are done here in hands. So you need to lay down a big piece of cloth on the ground, so it's easier for you to collect them, and it's faster and easier. We don't leave any branches to go up in the air because we don't need any machines. All things are done in hands. In the beginning, when the season comes, you will see all the olives are green, but with time they change to get to be black. Then it is the best time to pick them to make the oil, the new oil. By the way, we are going to visit an olive press, and we will talk how people produced the oil from these. Nazareth in Hebrew is called Nazareth. We believe that one of the ideas where Nazareth got its name, it came from the word netzer. Netzer, Nazareth, the shoot. By the way, if you pick this branch with piece of the mother tree, the original mother tree, and you put it in the ground, you fertilize it, you water it, you can get a new tree. But you need to graft it. Then you get a new tree. Okay? So this is the tree I told you about.
Like me, 400 years.
Really? Yeah.
This tree is 400 years old, and it has olives on right now.
You see? Then you hatch to the donkey a kind of board like this one. You see this board? This is the bottom. You see this board? This is the bottom of the board. In each hole, you have a stone. Yeah? So when you turn it over, pulling the board, this makes the threshing. This is the way you separate the kernels. You take out the wheat. So after a few days, the farmer just makes everything in big pile, and this winnowing fork, this is how you separate. Let me stand here and I will show. With little breeze, he just throws everything in the air. You see?
Yeah.
The wheat and the barley are a little bit heavy. They never go with the wind. Only the hay and the small pieces of what is left goes away. This is, you do it tens of times. This is the way how you separate it. After that, everything is taken home, and the ladies usually continues to clean it with hands, because you cannot clean it everything with winnowing fork. Thank you, Simon. Thank you. Toda. Okay, let's go to Abraham, the shepherd.
This was the threshing floor. He gave the explanation of how things are done there.
And in Hebrew, we say Toda.
These are the boards that are pulled by the donkey across the threshing floor to knock loose some of the kernels.
On the other hand, sheep are very obedient. They listen to the shepherd. They can recognize his voice. In the book of John, Jesus says, I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep and my sheep know me. They hear my voice and they follow me. According to the Torah, to Judaism, people needed to bury the person who dies within 24 hours for purity. So, at home, people needed to wash the body. They anoint it with spices and perfumes. Then they wrap the body with linen. Now, inside, on the walls around the cave inside, people usually made niches, holes. They call them niches. After they finish the ceremony with the anointing with the spices, they would take the body and put it in one of the niches. They roll the stone and they go home for 1 year. After the year, the family comes back, they roll the stone, they go inside, they collect the bones from the person who died last year. They just take them out from the niche and they put them in ossuaries. Ossuary is a kind of box made of stone, usually would be as big as the biggest bone of the body. They lay the bones inside and they keep it inside. They don't take it out of the tomb or out of the cave. Now the niche that was in use for that person last year now is empty. In case they have another case of death in the family, so they would use it. It's empty, they can use it. Poor people, by the way, this kind of burial was used by big families and for rich people because it took a lot of time and much money to prepare it. Poor people were just put in a hole in the ground and that's it. We know from the Bible that Jesus was buried in a tomb like this. It was family tomb. Who gave the family tomb to Jesus? Joseph Arimathea. Yeah? Yes? Do you know what happened to Joseph and his family? He gave the family tomb to Jesus. They came shouting and screaming, so angry. How dare you give the family tomb to Jesus? It took us a lot of time and much money to prepare it, and we cannot use it for the whole year. Then Joseph told them, relax, take it easy. Jesus promised me he will use it only for 3 days. Okay, would you like to have a look? This is authentic wine press. This is the place where people made their wine. They just laid all the grapes on the ground took off their sandals and the shoes and they starting kind of festival, dancing and singing, because you make wine, you have to be happy and relaxed, you know. So here is the place where people made with their barefoot, right? Bare feet. Why? This is the place where people made their new olive oil. Two things have to be done in this place. Crushing the olives, and there, two sides we have the same thing, pressing the baskets. Okay? And here when we crush the olives, we crush everything. Also the seeds, not like the grapes, we avoid crushing them. Because in the seeds, in the bits of the olives, we have got a little bit olive oil. So here in this basin, you lay all your olives. This place is usually busy. At the same time, people are picking olives down the village. With this millstone, this beam, and, come with me please, and, donkey, and a donkey. Yeah, a donkey. So you push this one, yeah, go. Go, come on. Yeah, keep going. So here you crush all the olives, going again, tens, hundreds of times by donkey, because there's no place here. Thank you. For a horse, after you are sure you have crushed your olives very well, you fill all the mash, the paste you have got, you fill only this part of the basket, only at this part, here, okay? This part. After you have filled few of them, you need to press them to take out all the olive oil. So here we have a place for pressing the baskets. Right and left are the same. You lay all the baskets, you can come closer, you can see well. Here we have this hole. This hole is about half meter, 2 feet deep. You lay the baskets one over the other, over this hole, yeah? All the baskets are full of the paste you have got from the olives that you already crushed. At this stage, you will see, each basket is about 15 to 20 kilo. It's heavy. They start pressing each other. You will see that little bit olive oil is leaking out of the baskets. This is the extra virgin oil. What did people do with this oil? It was taken to the Jerusalem, to the temple, to light the menorah in the temple. Only for that. Okay? Now, by the help of these huge stones, they are lifted up in the air, connected to this beam, they make pressure over the baskets. But this time, your pressure is controlled. You put more pressure, you get more oil. Second step. This time the oil goes to medicine, to cosmetics, and to food. Then, third step, you give maximum of the pressure you can make out of these stones over the beam on the baskets. You get more oil. But this time, the oil is not in good quality. People used it to light oil lamps. This is a replica of first century oil lamp. To light oil lamps, usually you have a wick here, and also was used to make soap. Now, after you have finished the 3 steps of getting for 3 kinds of oil, for 3 different uses, you take out your baskets. You cannot keep them here. You need them for more olives, maybe for the same family, or maybe for another family. So you take them out, you just shake them, all the pulp inside, just to make them very clean, very easy, so you can use the baskets empty again. Now, what was inside the pulp, you can put it for 2-3 years in the sun, it gets dry. People used it to start fire. You know why? Because there is still a little bit olive oil inside. You cannot get 100% of the oil out of the olives. Okay? This place is called in Hebrew Gat Shmanim. Gat Shmanim. And in Aramaic it is called Gethsemane. Gethsemane. We always tell this story in this place. This place is similar to Gethsemane in Jerusalem. Here we press the baskets physically 3 times. In Gethsemane, Jesus was pressed 3 times psychologically, as the Bible tells us, he was sweating like drops of blood, but psychologically, not physically. So far, so good?
Very.
Yeah? To start using it for food and water. So you need to bake it. So here we have this kind of dough, you see it? This is the stove where you lay all your things here you made to bake them, to make them harder and stronger. Okay, let's go through this house here, make a circle, have a look, and come back from other side, and we will continue this way. Just follow me. Yes, please keep coming. Not enough room.
So your name is
Time to go to visit Joseph, the carpenter's wife. Come on.
Samuel, okay. So, and this is Grandma. And you are?
أنا مريم.
Okay. And you?
سارة.
Oh, Sarah, okay. So pleased to meet you.
There's one more very important equipment called the adze. It can be used as an axe, as a hammer. Yeah? And you can see here, these are basalt stones, black stones. This is rough, touch it. Rough, and this is smooth, right? This is this is for sanding, yeah? Touch it. Yeah, this is for sharpening. You saw Joseph sharpening, and this is for sanding the wood.
So, hello Joseph, how are you? Okay. Where is Jesus? Oh, okay, good place. Good place.
Yeah, good.
So, can you show me again the drill?
The weaver. So it all was very close together. You see the working place has only half of the room covered.
Oh, okay. Very good. He's drilling a hole.
Right.
One door. Oh, but the roof is all covered. Okay. Yes, please keep coming. Say hello to Hannah. Hannah the weaver.
Hello, welcome.
So here, at this place, at Hannah, all the wool is brought. The shepherd usually uses this kind of scissors to shear out the. Today everything is the machine. 1 minute, it's done. All the wool is brought here to Hannah. Of course, after the season of winter and spring, all the wool is dirty, needs to be washed and to be prepared to work with. So also using, after it's washed, using this, it's very dangerous. This comb with hands, you make it soft and easy to start working, to make it, to spin it into threads. Goats usually give us these original natural colors that we get from sheep. Sorry, from sheep. We have no goats, I told you. In case you want to make any kind of colors, so people used only natural materials. Okay, onion skins give us this kind of color. Yeah, pomegranates gave, in Holy Land we have about 10 kinds, different colors of pomegranates. They can make all kinds, different kinds. Saffron saffron, walnuts. This color gives us walnuts. Hannah, what do you make this from?
Fig tree.
Fig tree, okay, from fig leaves.
Fig tree or leaves, anything green.
From leaves, the greenish. And those who live in very high and rich society, rich people, can afford buying these blues and purples. They needed hundreds of seashells in order to make these colors. So only rich people could afford buying clothes made of these colors. See? And now, Sister Hannah will show us how this work. The two edges goes together, then spinning. Now, question. Do you think this thread is ready to be used here on the loom?
No.
No. This thread needs to rest. What does it mean to rest? It must be in a bowl for 3 or 4 weeks, Hannah. 4 weeks, yeah? Then it is ready, smooth, soft, it's not curled. It's ready to be used on the loom. Okay? Now, Hannah will show us weaving. You see, notice we have two rows of threads. She takes the back ones to be the front, then the front gets to be back, then she passes the shuttle. One more time to that side. This is weaving.
Just to hold it and hold up.
And this what usually you get, the final product. Yeah? This one is a new one, and this one is a little bit old. Yeah?
So, Hannah, this is Grandma.
Hi, welcome.
So, I'm imagining that Jesus was, as a little boy, was walking these kind of streets, right?
Yes.
And he was helping Hannah, maybe.
Yeah, why not?
Children use nothing for paying that.
For what?
You know, I've always imagined that the homes in Nazareth were maybe on a flat street, but I'm learning that in many cases they were built in the sides of the hills on terraces because on hot days like this it was cooler in the caves. Basically, the homes were built as an extension of the caves, I believe, and that's sort of a new insight I have here. I'm visualizing these streets as a place where Jesus was moving and playing and interested in what's happening both in the carpenter shop and with the weaving, etc.
For Jesus read in order not to make any, what does it have it here? Yeah. Jesus read what Jesus read from Isaiah, but the quotation is from Luke 4:18 and 19. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, for He has sent me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim that captives will be released, that the blind will see, that the oppressed will be set free, and that the time of the Lord's favor has come. Amen. Jesus closed the scrolls, gave them scrolls to the attendant man, and Jesus sat down. Okay? Jesus sat down. All the eyes in the synagogue were looking at Jesus and started saying to each other, what a wonderful words coming from his mouth. What wonderful words come from Jesus' mouth. Then Jesus stood up again and started talking to the people. The words that you have just read, are fulfilled into your hearing. people starting talking to each other and whispering, isn't this man the son of Joseph and Mary? You know, Nazareth at that time was a very small town and everybody knew each other. Actually, Jesus in these words, he's telling the people that he is the Messiah. They are the oppressed people. They are the poor people who are waiting salvation. He's not the Messiah. He's the son of Mary and Joseph. How dare he says this? In short, there was a discussion that people indeed in the synagogue were oppressed, were poor. They were waiting the Messiah to come and give them salvation and to kick out all the Romans that were here for hundreds of years. But they did not accept this kind of Messiah. They wanted a Messiah who was a king with horses, with soldiers, strong one. What made the people change their idea and made them so angry, Jesus wanted to give them a message that salvation could be for you and for your enemies also. This thing made them even more and more angry. He mentioned two stories about Gentiles, how God saved Gentiles, the enemies of the Jews. He mentioned two stories about the widow who lived in Sidon. She survived 3.5 years of famine. Then he mentioned another story about Naaman the Syrian, who was an army soldier, and he suffered a lot of this man, he had leprosy, and he was told to dip in the Jordan River, and he recovered. These two stories made him so angry. As the Bible tells us, these people took Jesus and wanted to kill him. And they tried to take him to the precipice mountain. I will show you soon where is the precipice mountain, and to throw Jesus from the cliff there and just to kill him. But it wasn't time for Jesus to die in Nazareth. He just left the place, he left the angry crowd, and went to live for more 3 years in Capernaum in Tiberias, and he never came back to live in Nazareth. The precipice mountain